Hi everyone, welcome to your week one introduction to our new online 4464 class. I hope everyone's doing well. I know it's been a little chaotic, so I hope you're finding ways to take care of yourselves. The purpose of today's video is really just to introduce to this week's lecture. So kind of introducing the topic, letting you know what I expect for the week. So first of all, recognize that our class is going to function asynchronously, which means you can watch the videos whenever you want. You can complete things as you like, but each week there'll be something due, and it'll vary. Usually something's due on Friday. As we move forward to the end of the semester, it'll be something due on the Monday. So I'll create a video just to kind of outline what I expect for each week, explain some things. But if you have any questions, still feel free to reach out to me. Email is still going to be the best way to contact me. And I've been getting a couple emails from you, and that's great. So keep sending them. Keep sending questions that you have, and I'll try to answer them as fast as I can. So for this week, we have the topic of mindful movement and meditation. And I'm sure it comes as no surprise that this is one of my favorite topics. I use it in almost everything that I do. I try to make it part of my daily practice, but I also just, in exercise classes, in wellness groups, in workshops, I try to bring some hint of it in. And you'll see kind of a glimpse of some of the things that I gravitate toward or that I really like, but recognize that these topics are so broad. So the things that I'm highlighting are really just, a drop in the bucket of everything that you could really explore. So just in general, what is mindfulness? And maybe just consider for a second what that means to you. What do you, when the word mindfulness comes up, it's kind of a buzzword these days. How do you connect with that word? For me, I use the definition of awareness without judgment. So I have a link to a book at the end of our module called Full Catastrophe of Living by Jon Kabat-Zinn, and I really highly recommend it. It's a pretty easy read. You can just even read chapters if you're interested. But the definitions of mindfulness in that book are fantastic. So I really like those definitions, kind of that framework, if you're looking for a resource. But like I said, I see it as kind of being in the present moment, being aware of what's happening without judgment. So often we think of like meditation, for example, as needing to be calming and relaxing, but it's not always that way for people. And so recognizing that mindfulness meditation isn't about making us calm. Sometimes that is the result, and sometimes that's a really fantastic result. But sometimes it's more just, I guess that's going on within me right now, right? I guess I'm feeling some anxiety, I'm feeling some stress, and now I've taken a moment to be aware of it, and then I can find different techniques to help me, maybe different meditations, to help me kind of feel more grounded, feel more relaxed, whatever it might be. So mindfulness isn't about fixing a problem, in my opinion. It's about kind of just being aware of kind of all that's happening with you in that moment. It can be sensation, so like, sight, touch, the actual five senses, or it can be emotions that arise. It can be, kind of a story you're telling yourself, whatever it might be. So that's how I see mindfulness. And there are a lot of different ways to practice mindfulness. Like I mentioned, mindful meditation is one. But there's also movement. And in my opinion, it's one of the most powerful ways to connect with mindfulness, because sometimes it can be really hard to sit, especially as people that like to move, it can be really hard to sit still and, just think about my breath, which is something that we'll do in a second because it can be useful as well. But you'll notice when we do Qigong, you're still focusing on your breath. You're still connecting to your breath. You're just moving through it instead of having to sit still through it. And I think that can be really powerful. So today for this week, for this module, what we're going to be focusing on is first doing a little Qigong exercise. Just kind of practicing, maybe something new. I imagine it's new for most people. Usually in my classes, it's new. And it's something that I only started doing a few years ago. I'm by no means a Qigong master, but it's just something that I teach my refugee women. And to share just a really quick story with that. So I had a wellness group that I was running, and as part of the day we had Qigong that we were going to do. And this woman was really distracted at the beginning. We did just a breathing exercise, and she just was clearly kind of irritated, anxious, something was happening. And so, we checked in. She kind of said like, oh, I'm just not feeling it today. But then we did the movement practice, and it's just really gentle movement, right? And the topic of the day was intellectual wellness or creativity. And so I had each of the individuals create a movement. So it might be like, sunrise, sunset. Someone did like a cat licking their arm, it can be absolutely anything. And I don't even remember what she did for her movement, but when we checked in after, she said to me, I've never been able to express myself as well as I did in that moment. And remember, this is a refugee who has experienced all of the trauma of the refugee experience. She's a torture survivor, so her trauma experience is even elevated. And she's someone who has engaged in therapy for years. She's been doing so many things to help herself heal. And for some reason, this moment was one where she was actually able to express herself. And that for me was, this light bulb moment of, wow, this movement is powerful. And it's powerful for healing, and it's powerful for folks with trauma experiences as well as those that have not experienced a trauma experience. And so I just want you to be kind of curious about it. For some people, it's like, yeah, that was interesting, not my thing. For others, it's more of a, I have to do this every day now kind of thing. So it really just kind of let it just be a curious experience. So you'll watch a Qigong video, do a little Qigong practice. It's not very long. And then after you've done that, you'll watch a couple quick tutorials on what mindfulness and meditation are. And that'll be kind of if you think of it as our class's lecture for that day. And then after that's over, there is one assignment that I want you to complete. It's just the evaluation form on the Qigong class. But in the additional comments section, it's just an essay question on the quiz. And it's a survey, not a quiz, right? You just have to complete it to get your full grade. So answer however you want with the numbers. But in the additional comments, I just want you to think about maybe ways that you want to incorporate mindfulness into your just daily wellness routine. And then maybe one or two ideas of how you want to incorporate it into your fitness instruction. And just see if there's anything you can think about with that. And then keep your eyes out for next week. I'll post another video with week 2's instructions, and we'll just kind of move through this semester from there. So thank you, everyone, and I'll be seeing you.